What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. So lo and behold, we finally get our crypto executive order out of the White House this morning. It actually got leaked out, or the executive order itself didn't get leaked, but the response from the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, actually leaked out last night. So we kind of got a gist of what was in the order last night, and we did see the markets react to that. We saw Bitcoin and the rest of crypto pump pretty hard last night. But in this morning, we finally get the real gist of what's in this order, and it is bullish. I think that I and most people around crypto believe this is taking the right steps finally by the U.S. And this technology. We've been waiting for this for years, honestly, but finally the U.S. Is starting to take charge in leading the world in this innovation, and it seems like they want to take the steps that will bring all the agencies, basically all the regulators, together to come up with a real framework and real regulation to, no more stifling innovation. We need to lead in this innovation in the world. So I have a couple people. I have a CEO of Circle. I have she works for Ripple. I think she is the head of the public policy at Ripple. I have the CEO of Ripple, Garlinghouse, and I just wanted to get their opinions on what they, think are the best parts of this executive order and how they believe this is, a great step moving forward in this country. So before I get into it, just want to ask you guys if you could please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. It'd be very much appreciated. But let's get right into it, guys. So this is Jeremy Allaire. He is the CEO and co-founder of Circle and Circle Pay. And he tweeted out this about the executive order. White House executive order and U.S. government strategy for digital assets, a thread with thoughts. This is a watershed moment for crypto, digital assets, and Web 3.0, akin to the 1996-97 whole of government wake up to the commercial internet. And that's just to quickly, that's something that we've been waiting for, right? We led in the market during the internet boom, right? The U.S. Led the whole world with the internet technology, right? Think of the U.S. companies that we have today: Amazon, Facebook, Google. These are all U.S. companies because we led in that new innovation of the internet, right? And we were waiting for this, for the U.S. to finally lead in this new innovation, which is basically the Internet 2.0, right? It's even bigger than the internet. So it's good to see that finally we're taking those steps to actually lead in the world. So it continues on and says, the U.S. seems to be taking on the reality that digital assets represent one of the most significant technologies and infrastructures for the 21st century. It's rewarding to see this from the White House, as after so many of us have been making the case for 9+ years. Let me just get down here. Specifically, the executive order calls for nearly every relevant federal agency to take on understanding and developing policy positions that understand and address risks, but vitally that support innovation in the U.S. national economic competitiveness. We are at a turning point in geopolitical and geoeconomic systems in history, and the U.S. now has the opportunity to lean into an open, internet-native economic infrastructure, while others focus on closed, tightly controlled, and privacy-eroding alternatives. In many cases, the executive order sets out initiatives to explore and engage in constructive problem solving around known risks and exist with the legacy financial system and the new Web 3.0 world: privacy, security, financial inclusion, global competitiveness for the US dollar, and etc. While there is a reference to continued research into CBDCs, the executive order is appropriately focused on the here and now of rapid growth in digital assets and stablecoins, and getting it right so that these technologies can flourish in a responsible manner. For those of us in the crypto community, in my honest opinion, this executive order should be viewed as the single biggest opportunity to engage with policymakers on the issues that matters. The proverbial doors of policymakers are wide open. This is now a national conversation in the U.S. I just thought that was a great thread, and I just want to read that to you guys because he broke it down pretty well there. This is a huge step for the U.S. and a huge step for us Americans in this, amazing technology. And those of us have been in this space for long enough know that, we've said this for years, that this is the future. And basically what this executive order is telling us is that they finally, are admitting that this is here to stay, right? This is the future. So, I mean, I couldn't be more happier with this executive order, honestly, because it is finally, we've been waiting and waiting for, the U.S. to really, step in and really lead in this innovation around the world. And it seems like we're finally getting what we've been, looking for the last couple of years. So this is Susan Friedman. She is I believe she is is it policy making? Yeah, she's the head of public policy at Ripple. Excited to see the Biden administration long-awaited executive order emphasizing interagency coordination and work on crypto. Now, what shouldn't fall by the wayside? Existing legislative proposals that have already thoroughly researched this tech with actual policy recommendations. Let me just zoom down. Studies and reports alone, without action, do not necessarily equal progress. Several bills have been introduced in Congress that, if passed, would be vital for providing regulatory clarity through federal oversight of exchanges or clarifying SEC and the CFTC jurisdiction. It's been great to see growing bipartisan interest in the industry, but we need to move faster for the U.S. to take advantage of the innovation and the opportunity at hand. Just look at the EU. MiCA, what MiCA is the regulatory framework that they're trying to get through in the European Union. So MiCA could soon be passed this year. The U.S. should not lose momentum on these issues. So what she's saying there is basically, the EU is finally coming with regulation now, which should be passed in the coming months. UK is coming with regulation. So, with this, great step with this executive order, now we need Congress to actually, pass real regulation, right? So, as much as, they have until the end of the year or so, or they say in the executive order, we need to speed this process up. If we want to lead this world in this innovation, we need to kind of get it together, because other countries, are a couple steps ahead of us at this point, right? So, just good to hear Susan Friedman talk about how, as good as this executive order is, we do have, bills trying to get passed in Congress that, from, I think Tom Emmer has a bill, Senator Loomis from Wyoming has a bill. We do have a framework, ready to be passed ASAP, honestly, in Congress. So hopefully this can speed up that process, right? So I also have now Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, and he tweeted this out. Like many of you, I thought the Biden administration's executive order would acknowledge crypto but not detail specifics on next steps for regulation. However, I was pleasantly surprised and inspired by the executive orders acknowledging the need for evolution and alignment of the government's approach to crypto. Let me just zoom down. Okay. First and foremost, this is an affirmation that crypto is here to stay. Thoughtful policy involves timely input from players, and there is a lot, across the federal government. I don't want to mistake activity for progress, but this does feel like it could be a turning point. The White House finally says that we in the industry have the White House finally says what we in the industry have been saying for years. If the U.S. wants to maintain its status as a responsible tech leader, it needs to provide a clear regulatory framework for the industry that's exploding in growth, 40 million Americans and counting. Years of damage done by the SEC's siloed regulation by enforcement approach can be undone through a collaboration between all agencies. Ripple stands ready to educate and assist. If we are to catch up with the rest of the world, we need prompt and decisive action ASAP. So I thought this is very important to show you guys, because, now that we're finally taking the right steps, but now we need to basically, the SEC has basically been using this regulation by enforcement, and that's been stifling innovation around the globe, right? Not only in the U.S., right? That's been stifling innovation around the globe because, it should, companies start in the U.S., right? They want to start in the U.S. because this is the biggest market. But by the SEC's approach and this regulation by enforcement, it's kind of been like railroading the growth of this technology. So, what we need is these agencies to finally get together and rein in the SEC's regulation by enforcement, and now we need to let this innovation flourish, and that's what Brad Garlinghouse is kind of saying here. We need to the SEC needs to cut it out, right? We need to stop this whole killing innovation in this country and hurting investors in that process, right? And us in the XRP community know that all too well. So I thought that was a great thread. And then also I saw this by Blockworks. So, what is this going to lead to? Like this, obviously this technology has been growing the last couple of years, like crazy, right? The growth has been unbelievable. We were at $50 billion market cap maybe 2 years ago. And now we got to as high as 3 trillion a couple months ago, but now we're sitting there at about $1.8 trillion market cap. We're seeing these big institutions getting involved more and more every day now. This is from Blockworks. $155 billion asset manager Bain Capital has launched a 560 million crypto fund. I mean, we're seeing this like every day. All these asset manager funds and hedge funds and corporations and all huge institutions all around the world are getting involved either in the metaverse or all types of aspects of crypto, right? So this is gonna, like with this executive order now, this is gonna flourish this innovation and get these big time institutions, give them the positive reinforcement that this innovation and this technology is here to stay, so it is safe to invest in, right? And that's been the big thing why these big institutions and big money have been sitting on the sidelines for so long is they don't know what's legal, what's not illegal, what's a security, what's not a security. It's been this, gray area for the last, couple of years. And if the U.S. finally gets, these agencies together and we get real regulation passed, then, we can get these institutions and this big money into this market and really, grow this market in a way that, we've been talking about for years now, but, we've just been waiting for the U.S. to finally take these steps, and it looks like we're finally getting it. Also, Bitcoin Magazine posted this along those same lines. Banking giant Credit Suisse report, after this war, money will never be the same. Bitcoin will benefit. So I think that's the biggest thing, and I think that's why we're seeing regulation kind of getting it fast-tracked around the world here now. With this war and with all the geopolitical events, even that what happened in Canada, it's coming more and more clear that cryptocurrency is obviously here to stay, but they're starting to see the benefits of crypto, right? It's becoming more in people's faces now, right? Crypto is a center of attention due to these geopolitical issues, and it couldn't be more relevant today, right? So, Credit Suisse is saying here is, with this war and, obviously these sanctions on Russia is going to have a huge impact to the world of finance, right? People think it's just Russia and they're going to go bankrupt and the rest of the world is going to be fine. No, this is going to have long-lasting effects on the world economy, and that will change forever, right? Like he's saying here, money will never be the same, and that is very true. I mean, you're seeing the hyperinflation, you're seeing so many things around the world. I mean, it's just crazy what we saw in the last couple of weeks. We're seeing commodities like gold and silver and oil moving up, like, going crazy up. And you're also seeing the dollar move up at the same time. I mean, these things usually don't happen. When there's a crisis or something, people are getting out of the dollar and buying commodities because they're fearing the dollar. But by the dollar going up and the commodities going up at the same time, I mean, we're kind of in this, like, backwards world. Like, we don't know what's going on, right? There's so much fear with, Russia and Ukraine conflict and everything around the world right now. We just got out of a pandemic. The world is kind of upside down right now. And it's kind of being, showing the world that, cryptocurrency is going to be kind of the savior of this world of finance. So it couldn't be, like I said, it couldn't be more relevant in showing its relevance on a daily basis with crypto. So just want to end the video by pointing out, this is on Crypto Law, tweeted this out. There was a great interview on Tony Edwards' channel, Thinking Crypto. He's always giving great interviews. He had Joseph Grunfest on, I believe, yesterday. Check that interview out for sure. But he had John Deaton on a couple days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. and they really broke down the ins and outs of the case, the Ripple versus SEC case, and everything going on, and honestly, the rulings that we're about to get any day now, honestly. And it should be, it should give us a better idea when this thing should settle. I mean, at this point, we know it will settle. We know that Ripple will win this lawsuit, but now it's up to the SEC. Right now, they're playing their delay card, right? We've been talking about this a lot in this channel. The SEC basically has been delaying this case. That's their only move at this point, right? If they know they're going to lose, so their only power in a settlement is delaying. And what I've said on this channel in the last couple of weeks is that those 63 emails that have to do with the Hinman speech, when the court orders those emails turned over to Ripple, that's when you will see a settlement. I am like 99.9% sure of it, that there's no way the SEC will hand over those emails. So right now they are, desperately trying to, appeal. I think Judge Netburn is supposed to come out with a ruling on that reconsideration of those emails. And as soon as she says, those emails need to be turned over, then the SEC will appeal that to Judge Torres. And then we will probably see another appeal after that. So we're looking at how long can the SEC really delay this? I think it's another, could be, a couple weeks, could be a month, could be a couple months. At this point, we know, the funny thing is we know Ripple will win this and it will settle, but we just don't have the timeline because we don't know how long the SEC can delay this. So I think when we finally get these orders from the judge in the next couple of days or so, we'll have a better idea of how much longer this thing will go. But the thing about it is, people know that Ripple is going to win this case. So the price of XRP should start to steadily go up because obviously, buy the rumor, sell the news. You're not going to see the price, it's not going to wait until settlement and then all of a sudden skyrocket. I think that's what most people think, but that's not the case. You'll see, when it's getting towards the end, people are going to try to get in, trying to front run the news, right? So you'll start to see the price of XRP to start rise slowly. And then obviously, honestly, it could boom and then the settlement comes in and it could crash, right? We've seen things like that before. So honestly, you just got to keep an eye on what's going on and not financial advice, but I've been dollar cost averaging into XRP for over 4+ years, but I've definitely been buying the dips here recently because you're not going to see these prices this low for long, I don't think. So end the video there, guys. Just definitely go check out this interview on the Thinking Crypto channel on YouTube. John Deaton really, I can't say enough about the guy. He's representing 65,000 plus XRP holders in this lawsuit. The guy works his ass off, and I can't thank him enough on behalf of the XRP community and on behalf of the crypto community as a whole. So just we'll end the video there, guys. Just remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. But don't forget, I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.